How's it going, everybody? It's Professor Gnome, and today we're going to be checking out a really interesting deck focusing around Beedrill and its Nair Needle attack, which for 2 colorless energy does 30 damage, plus if you have no cards in your hand, this attack does 120 more. And also, in addition to that, it poisons and paralyzes your opponent's active, which is really strong because right now a lot of decks aren't playing switch cards and they're not really playing a lot of ways to move around without being able to retreat. Think of like Miraidon only has the ability to free retreat with the Latios, but if you're paralyzed, you can't do that. So it can actually trap things in the active and be really, really frustrating to deal with. This list was inspired by a list that was submitted in the community Discord by a Discord member, Pink. So if you're interested in that list, it'll be linked in the description as well. So you can try their original list and this one that I made based on it. One of the things that I changed is that they were playing the Survival Brace instead of Secret Box. I like Survival Brace in theory, but the main problem with it is that right now Monkey Dory and Budew and all this kind of stuff is just running around, and they just use that to pop your Survival Brace. But once those become a little bit less common, then Survival Brace will be really strong for this deck. And also, I just think the value you get out of Secret Box is super strong. But the question we have to ask ourselves is how exactly are we going to get no cards in hand? Because we typically don't want that. And the way that we're going to do it is using the Skwovet with the Nest Stash ability, where once during your turn you can shuffle your hand, put your hand to the bottom, and then draw 1 card. And then what we can actually do is combo that with Radiant Venusaur, a card that gets almost no love, but in this deck it actually pairs perfectly because of its Sunny Bloom ability, where at the end of our turn, then we can use this ability and draw up to 4 cards. So what we do is we Skwovet, we use that last card in our hand any way we can, and if we can't, we can use the Academy at Night to put that card on the top of our deck, so we have no hand, and then immediately after that, we attack, trap our opponent, and then draw ourselves back up to 4 cards for the turn. We need a couple different supporters in order for this to really work, though. We want Arven in order to find ourselves like our evolutions early, as well as a rescue board to help retreat, as well as helping us to find our rare candies and secret box and things like that. I also play the Drayton, and the main reason why I play this is that, one, it was in their original deck list, and I really didn't like this card until I started playing it in their original list. It's really, really good. It pretty much functions like a Pokégear for other tool cards, and so if there's stuff you're looking for, it makes it a little bit easier to find. You could make the argument that Arven's just, like, better, but a lot of times it's just nice to be able to search a little bit deeper into your deck and trade this out, and it works out pretty well. You can make an argument to cut these and just add in Arven's because they do relatively the same thing, but the main difference here is that this also helps find you Pokemon, which is really nice when you're looking for a Beedrill if you already have Rare Candy in your hand or something like that. We also play a copy of Penny. This is to pick up our Venusaur if it gets trapped in the active. We play Colress in order to grab ourselves our double colorless and our Academy at Night. Boss's Orders because it's Boss's Orders, and Iono because it's Iono. Our energy list is pretty simple. We have 3 reversal energy and 4 double turbo. You could probably cut one of these if you really, really wanted, but I think it's pretty necessary. But yeah, that's just about our list, guys. I really like it. I think it's a ton of fun. I would definitely recommend giving it a try right now. It's really weak to Draycopolt, and it's really weak to Budew. But if you can avoid those 2 things, or at least... Honestly, it's not even that weak to Budew. If you can find your Kakunas, then, like, you're good to go. Because this deck is built to get behind early, but Draycopolt you kind of just can't beat because your Kakuna or your Weedles are only 50 health. So if they set up like a turn 2 Draycopolt, you're just kind of screwed. But outside of that, it's actually pretty good. It does really well, and it's just a super fun deck. So I'd highly recommend it if you're looking for some fun before the rotation. And yeah, we'll jump into the gameplay in a second, but I'll see you guys there. But first, I just want to say, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. If you want to join the community Discord, it's down in the link, or there's a link down in the description. And also, if you want to follow me on Twitter, there's a link for that as well. I don't do anything on it, but you're welcome to follow it. And yeah, I think that's just about it. Oh, and we're going to be doing an episode of Office Hours coming up soon. And so if you're interested in being featured in that video, you can leave a deck list down in the description, and me and Control Players Unite or Dr. Red will be reviewing different deck lists and giving edits and all that kind of stuff. So if you're interested and want us to review your deck, leave it in the comment section down below and have the hashtag office hours on that comment, so that way it's easier for me to find later when we do the recording. But yeah, that's just about it, and I'll see you guys all in game number 1 in a second. Peace. Alright, we're in game number 1, and our opponent's going to be going first. We are going to mulligan here, but our opponent is as well. We'll see what we get from here. Not the best hand we could ever get. We see a bunch of cards. None of them really stand out to me as relevant. Oh, dude, it's Skwovet. That's pretty cool. Our hand's pretty bad, but we can reset it with Iono. I think that's what we're going to have to do, because I'd love to go... The Artazon does make things a little easier. Alright. I think what we do is we go Pokégear, see if we hit Arven. If we hit Arven, play Arven for Rescue Board, Buddy Poffin, go Artazon, and then go from there. We'll play the Weedle anyway. We only get the boss's orders. At that point, I don't really mind that. Alright. We'll go Artazon here. We already have the Weedle, so I think it's in our best interest to grab a Budew. And the question is, do we want... They literally did nothing, so I don't want to Iono. We're going to use that. Grab ourselves a Switch, Academy at Night, Evolution, and Colress Tenacity for the next turn. Maybe we go Arven for the next turn. Yeah, because Arven guarantees us... Yeah. Alright, this is fine. So then, we go Itchy Pollen here, set up our item lock, and then on the next turn, what we'll be able to do is go Night Stretcher for Beedrill, Arven for Rare Candy, play the Academy at Night, go Skwovet, see if we can hit a double colorless, and like start getting damage off. If we can't, it's not that big of a deal, because we're in a position where we are going to keep item locking them, and we know that their hand is like pretty terrible. The only thing is that these snow runs are going to become a problem later. Alright, so we'll bump that. Night Stretcher, one of the Beedrill. Arven for Rare Candy. De-Evo just to get it out of our deck. Rare Candy to that. Go Nest Dash. We don't need any of these cards, so they can all go to the bottom. Nest Ball, we can actually use, grab ourselves a new Weedle. Continue our item lock. And Sunny Bloom for 4. Where we do get the double colorless, which is really big, because I'm just going to start attacking. We have everything set up that we need. And this is the power of Budew. A lot of people hate this card, and like I understand why people don't like it, but the main thing with the deck, or with the card, is that it does allow, for as much as it's reshaped the upper side of the metagame, it has really allowed for the bottom side of the metagame to become way more, like, playable and, like, way more viable. And that's super important. Alright, so this is the other side of it, though, where we're getting Budewed over and over. And we're not going to be able to play our Switch, so we're just got to look for Penny and hope it isn't prized. So, we'll go double colorless. We don't care about any of the rest of this, so we go Iono here. Which is what we really didn't want to do, because we didn't want to Iono our opponent and start giving them cards to work with. But, unfortunately, we're kind of just in this position where we don't have a choice. Alright. We don't care about any of this. We're really just looking for Penny. We'll Academy at Night, our Academy at Night. For really no reason. Just did the Evo. If we can find double colorless Arven, we can manually retreat. Calamitous Snowstorm, or Snowy Mountain. There's Night Stretcher for Fire Energy. I mean, if they go for the knockout on the Radiant, that's also fine. We're just taking a lot of spread damage we don't really want to right now. But if we can retreat this out, start attacking, we can prioritize knocking out the Frostlass, and, like, that's totally fine. If they bring in Venusaur here, or, sorry, if they make Skullvillain, retreat out the Budew, bring that in, that actually is, like, in our best interest. Like, yes, they knock out the Radiant Venusaur, but, like, I honestly don't even care. They also get rid of one of the other Snow Mountains, so it means that we can go Academy at Night, bump this, and it'll be pretty hard for them to replace it, because I doubt they're playing 4 copies. And we're already set up with the Skwovet and Academy at Night. It does mean that we won't be redrawing new cards, but that will be fine. So Spicy Rage for 580. Does knock us out, but we get to bring in Beedrill. I think the De-Evolution here is also going to be nice, because if they do end up making the Skullvillain and just start, like, stacking damage on themselves, we could always go De-Evo later on in the game. So, we'll go Academy at Night here. I'm going to go Ultra Ball, Reversal, and Kakuna in order to grab myself the Beedrill, just to stop damage from stacking onto this. And as much as I like the Reversal energy, I can get another one. And also, it's not as relevant right now, because as I go to knock this out, I'll be pretty much fine. I can go Super Rod here, just to reset my Venusaur. But I don't know if I actually want to use Super Rod. Just, no, I got a Beedrill, Kakuna, and my Venusaur, so I think it's fine to do. I get pretty good value out of it. So now we can go Nair Needle, where we start to stack some damage. The Frozen Shard is going to be annoying on the Skwovet for sure. But there's going to come a point where we might actually not even bother to play another one. And, like, whatever we draw, we just Academy at Night it and just keep attacking. Because the play here is all we're gonna do from now till the rest is, like, if we can go... Like, if we can get ourselves into Arven or something like that, they could go Switch. If that's the case, we bring up Budew. Item lock for 1 turn, look for something, but I have a feeling they're not going to go Switch, because that would require them to have another energy in hand, and they went for the EXP share, which I assume is going to go onto the Chespakid here. And also, even if they switch and bring this in, it's not going to do any damage. They'd have to place the energy, switch, retreat, bring this one in. And the return on investment on that is awful. They did go switch. Okay, just so they can bring in Budew. I disagree with that play. Only because... Alright, so... We'll go Academy at night here. We do get the boss's orders. I'm gonna boss onto this. And just start stacking the damage onto this one. Also because it does have the EXP share, so, you know, if I knock this one out, it just sets this up. We do lose out on the Skwovet, but we can make another one of those later on. The main thing now is that I just want to start getting extra damage on this through the Frostlass. To make it a little bit easier to KO when the time comes. Like, we'll look for like a Budew to knock it out. If we can get another double colorless in play, or even a reversal energy, that would be super nice. They have another switch. What is their deck? Like, why? Alright, they're going to be able to knock us out. But they are out of switches, so... We'll bring in Budew here. That'll stall 1 turn. But we desperately need a double colorless. Actually, I'm gonna go reversal energy. Because it's gonna be the same outcome and also keeps double colorless around. Go Pollen here. Frozen Shard will set this up, so that way this does get KO'd on in between turns. And they are item locked for this turn. The problem is that if they just bring in Budew, and I take the knockout and I can't boss up this Skwovet somehow, I'm in a very bad position. Okay, that Iono helps me so much. Potentially. Kind of. Spicy Rage comes in. Frozen Shroud knocks this out. I take 2 prizes. Ultra Ball reversal. The Ultra Ball kind of matters, actually. The problem is that I need to knock out one of these. Alright, so we go Weedle here. Buddy Poffin for another Weevil. Skwovet. I can't play Radiant because I need to be able to pick this up later. We'll go double colorless. Boss this one up, so that way, again, this just stacks as much damage as possible. And then from here, I don't get any value out of the Ultra Ball. So I think I just have to go Nest Dash here. The problem is I'm not, like, drawing new cards. So I think I have to go Venusaur here. And try to close out the game. Before the, like, before the incoming damage matters. Because I'm only taking 10 damage in between turns, so I essentially have 3 turns to work with. Which means I need to be able to KO this Skwovet here and KO this one in order to win the game. We have Academy at Night again to bump this. We have Reversal Energy available. We have a Rare Candy in order to make a new Beedrill. With other Beedrills in our deck, so that is possible. They shouldn't be able to KO us. Ultra Ball for another Frostlass. Actually, that might help us, because they'll KO their Skwovet first. Because this will go to 22... 24, 26. So all we need to do is... Yeah. All we need to do is find Penny. So what are our best odds of doing that? We'll go Buddy Poffin first, then our deck. I think we go Penny, just pick it up once, right? Like, we can still place this, right? Because if we place it down, we end our turn, it takes 20, they go to 40. Yeah. And then we just Academy at Night the Rare Candy, because we just want to make another Beedrill in case anything goes terribly wrong. They shouldn't be able to take 2 prize cards here. Perfect. So Frozen Shroud comes in. We take the 20 damage. It goes to our opponent's turn. They knock out our Beedrill here, end their turn, they get knocked out, and we're fine. Very close game. Yeah, I don't think there's anything they can do to win, because they're going to KO themselves. They'd have to... It wouldn't matter because we have Rare Candy Beedrill as well. They'd have to pick up Frostlass and then Iono us to 2. But even then, that gives us an extra turn to work with. Spicy Rage comes in for 1380. That's nuts. Our opponent takes 1 prize. We get to bring in the Weedle. And then Frozen Shard comes in. knocking out their Skwovet. Had we not found the Penny, we would have lost. But that's why we play it, just so we can reset. I mean, not for that specific scenario, obviously, but it's like why you play the Penny. Like, it's so versatile and helps in this deck so much. But yeah, that's going to be game number 1. Very fun. Very cool to go up against the Skwovet. Haven't seen that deck in a long time. The damage done is crazy. But yeah, I feel like we played that pretty well. Maybe we could have played it better, but that's going to be game number 1, and we'll jump into game number 2 in a second. I'll see you guys there. Peace. Alright, we're into game number 2, and our opponent's going to be going first. We, I guess, have to play Manaphy, because there's no way we want Venusaur in the active. We can retreat board it, so that's nice, but not super happy about having to just straight lead Manaphy. But, actually, I mean, we have Arven, double turbo energy. We see a bunch of metal energies. Interesting, interesting. Pokégear. Boss's orders, probably not what they wanted. Ultra Ball. Drayton. This matchup is going to be interesting purely on the basis that they're probably going to be playing a... Oh. Max Belt Metal Lab. They put themselves to 1 card, too. That's a choice. So we're going to play this down. We're going to Arven for Buddy Poffin. Evo, I guess is fine. Go Buddy Poffin here for this and this. Then Nest Ball for 2 Weedles. Then what we'll do is go double colorless. Retreat. Bring this in. Nest Dash this stuff away because we don't really care about it that much. Ooh, another double colorless. That's good for us. Itchy Pollen. Stop whatever item they're looking to play. And Sunny Bloom ourselves for 3 cards. Which we do get the Arven and Rare Candy. That's actually pretty nice. Oh, okay, they got our Archaludon off the top deck. But if their other card is like a useless item or something and not like a research... You go Rare Candy here. Colorless. Gonna go Arven for Secret Box Evo. And then I'm gonna go Itchy Pollen. The play here is to item lock them for 1 turn, right? So whatever that item is in their hand that may or may not be relevant, or whatever that dead card is in their hand. Actually, I think it's Boss's orders, right? No, they discarded that. Pretty much what the play here is we go Secret Box, we get rid of Evo, get rid of the Beedrill because we can always pick that back up. Literally just grab ourselves Boss. We'll grab Rare Candy, Academy at Night, and Evolution, I guess. Why not? Yeah, it doesn't really matter. Because all we're going to do from this point is we're going to go Academy at Night, Boss's orders, pull up the Archaludon, retreat, bring in Beedrill, Nest Dash, because we don't really care about the rest of the cards. That actually works out. And we go Needle for 100. We get the poison, draw ourselves 4, but they're also paralyzed. They have 2 cards. I'm gonna go ahead and go on record and say this Archaludon list is probably not very good. It's interesting that they're playing the Dudunsparce. I don't agree with the Max Belt. I was kind of worried about this matchup originally because typically Archaludon plays like 3 Tauros or 2 Tauros, the Super Scoop Up, or the Scoop Up Cyclone, sorry, or whatever the hell it's called now. And so because of that, I was like kind of worried, and like also they play a whole bunch of bosses, so like it means I wouldn't really be able to play Venusaur because I'd have to like pick it up with Penny and reshuffle it back into my deck and just kind of accept that I'm going to be on low cards. So I was going to have to do like this rush to get as many Beedrill done as possible. But it seems like their build is bad, so everything I was worried about isn't really relevant anymore. So at this point, we just Nest Dash, place our Kakuna down, get more damage, and bloom. We get the Ultra Ball, which means we can just get ourselves a new Beedrill. Our opponent's just dead drawing, I guess, at this point. So it does seem like they bricked. I understand that with the Full Metal Lab, you can't be... You can only get one shot by Charizard if you're down to like 1 prize card left, which is, I mean, it's the benefit of Academy at Night, but, or not Academy at Night, the Full Metal Lab. And if he's also playing the Resistance Band, or whatever, I forget what the card is called. The thing on stage 2s that if you're playing it, you take 30 less damage. You can make it so like Charizard can never one-shot you, and then as long as you are getting the first attack off, you live that. But I don't really feel like Full Metal Lab is like good enough of a card to play that. We'll get rid of this, and I guess the other Academy at Night to get ourselves... Ooh, we don't have another Beedrill. That makes things awkward. Well, just go ahead and Nest Dash here. Academy at Night. I just wanted to set up one more Beedrill, but it's fine. Knock out the Archaludon. Make it kind of easy. Grab ourselves 2 prizes. One of the things that's really, really fun about this deck is Radiant Venusaur. I think Radiant Venusaur is such an interesting and fun card that, like, objectively kind of sucks. It almost never has relevance in any deck, but in this one specifically, just being able to combo it with, like, the Skwovet and make it, like, your own little draw engine is so cool to do. Especially with the Beedrill. Well, this is going to be a pretty quick and simple game too. Which means we will do a 3rd game. As soon as my opponent decides to let us end this one. Hey, buddy. You don't get to come in with a bad deck and then slow play. That's just not fair. Alright, game number 2 is over. We'll jump into game number 3 now that stall session is over. See you guys there. Peace. Alright, we're into game number 3, and we're going to be going first. We open Budew, we have a Nest Ball, we have our double turbos, as well as Buddy Poffin, which is pretty nice. The Rare Candy is also definitely helpful. What the main goal here is, like, we can go Weedle, Skwovet, Nest Ball for Venusaur. Ooh, Mewtwo EX. I haven't seen that card in a while. So we'll go Skwovet, Weedle, check. We have Beedrill. I don't see anything prized that's too significant. You can go ahead, place that down. Almost place that into the wrong spot. We can pass here. We'll go Drayton on the next turn, see if we can hit Beedrill So that way we can go like Rare Candy onto the Beedrill, reset our hands, and kind of go from there. But if we can't, that's also okay. Because I'm fine going like Kakuna on the next turn. There's not much our opponent can really do. We just get another Rare Candy. I'm fine grabbing the Academy at Night here. And the Manaphy, just to put the Manaphy at the bottom of our deck. We'll place that down. We'll go Academy at Night, just so that way we have it. Go Nest Dash, because the rest of it doesn't really matter. And then we'll go Itchy Pollen, just to get a little bit of damage, but then also we get a couple more cards off the Sunbloom. This is nice, having the Ultra Ball, so we can get rid of like the Evolution, whatever else we want, bring in our Beedrill and start attacking and not only getting damage off, but also locking this. I'm not really worried about them using Academy at Night. I think they don't really know what it does. Unless they're about to drop an Iono here, and like there's a card they really want to save. That would be a good play. Yeah. Okay. Good play. Good play. Good play. Good play. Never mind. I was being a hater before it mattered. But the outcome's actually still the same for us, to be honest. And we even get a Buddy Poffin out of it, which means we can go double Weedle here. We'll probably go Ultra Ball, get rid of Reversal Energy, and whatever other like extra card we draw. Because if we can bring in Beedrill here, we're just in for a really, really good time. Alright. We get double Reversal Energy. I'm going to go double Weedle here. I'm going to go Ultra Ball, get rid of this, and the boss. In order to grab myself Beedrill. Create Beedrill. Retreat. Bring this in. Nest Dash. And then we go Academy at Night. Put that on top so we have no hand. We get to go for the Needle, Paralyze, and Poison, and then draw ourselves 4 cards, which is really 3 because we're really just putting 1 card back at the top. All of this is worthless, but it's fine because we can just Nest Dash it. And we do have the Academy at Night in case this gets replaced. Because they're playing the, why can I not read this? Enamorous. I don't know why that my dyslexia just went to like an all-time high right there. I was actually just saying I don't think they play Switch because of the fact that they have Enamorous. But I guess they do. Which means we do need to make a new Beedrill. But this just prevents all of... Oh, wait, right. I thought this gave it retreat, but it doesn't. It just prevents the effects of attacks. So, never mind. This is still just trapped here. I kind of want to save the Rare Candy. But I don't really have a choice here. Get the Ultra Ball, Academy at Night that. We get to go for the Nair Needle and be in the same position where now that they used the switch from before, I have to figure that the Cypher's Maniac was to be able to get themselves like Arceus V-Star. Wait, they had an energy. Why didn't they go Xatu? I think they just misplayed on accident. Like they weren't thinking. The main problem for us, we hope we hit an Arven here. Perfect. I'm gonna say we go Arven here, grab ourselves Rare Candy and Devo. Ultra Ball away, the Devo, and the Budew. In order to grab ourselves a Beedrill, we go Rare Candy. I wish I didn't have to click done for that. Actually, you know what would be really cool if you could sequence stuff? I don't really need the Switch. If you could sequence stuff in, like, right away, so, like, if it would let me go, like, play 2 Rare Candies at the same time, rather than having to, like, do the process for one, then do the process for another. Alright, we get the KO on the Enamorous. We get a new Academy at Night, as well as a Kakuna. That's actually really nice. RCSV comes in. Draw ourselves 2 more cards. Another Weedle. Don't really care as much about that. But now, if our Academy at Night gets broken, we get to bring in or place down our new one, which works out just fine. It would have been nice for them if they got the Clairvoyant Sense off and were able to draw 2, but if I'm honest, I don't think it really makes that much of a difference. They also don't have a way to power this up on this turn, so they get to go Starbirth, but I don't really know what they'd want outside of just, like, switch in an energy. Or, like, a Tauros to pick this up. Like, Hill. I don't know why you would play that. Also, I don't know why you would do that either. I don't know. I'm trying to assess the skill of my opponent to the best of my abilities. What do we want guaranteed for next turn? I think we just take the Pokégear guaranteed. Oh, that's my phone vibrating. Alright, we get this attack off. Lock the Arceus down. So, after this turn, pretty much no matter what they get here, the game is over. Like, it doesn't really matter. They can't do anything. We just attack him with Beedrill. We get another double colorless. We have a Beedrill in hand. So we're pretty much completely set up for no matter what happens. We have triple Beedrill. We're good to go. We go Academy at Night. Place this on top. Absolute domination. That's enough to knock out the Arceus. Take 2 prizes. Our opponent should have been using the energies to, like, put onto the Mewtwo at that point, just to try to get more cards in hand to start to set up a backup Mewtwo. I feel like this deck is not built particularly well. Yeah, they have really nothing they can do. Like, they needed to start stacking energy so they could at least do something. But unfortunately, I'm out of time to record, so that's going to be our game 3 and our final. I might do... There was one game that I'm not going to end up putting in this video that I might put in, like, a lost tapes kind of thing, because it was just me doing a Goldango for literally 20 minutes. The game just goes on forever because they spent all their energy early. And so I literally just Bedewed them the entire time because they could never pick up their energy, so it was just kind of that. But yeah, and oh, and I'll probably post the clip on Twitter, but there was another game that we literally didn't have in the video because PTCGO bugged, and so literally in my process of, like, clicking Academy at Night, it just ended my turn, just randomly, so it completely broke the game. So we lost that, but I'll probably clip it or something. But anyway, that's gonna be the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys liked the deck. Definitely give it a try for yourself. It was a ton of fun. Shout out to Pink for giving the inspiration for this deck. It's really appreciated. And yeah, be sure to let me know what you want to see in the next video. Be sure to leave any kind of comments, questions, concerns about the deck list down in the description or down in the comments. If you want to try it out, it'll be down in the description. If you want to join the community Discord, that'll be down there as well. And if you want your deck featured in office hours, be sure to leave it down in the comment section with the hashtag office hours so it's easier for me to find. But thank you again, guys. Like always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all the kind of YouTube stuff, and I will see you guys all in the next video. Peace.